Chances are if you have a TikTok account and you are alive, you are not in a coma or something like that, then you've seen these videos about the male and female gaze. The biggest mistake guys make when looking to make themselves more attractive to women is that they often do it through the lens of the male gaze rather than the female gaze. I recently saw this tweet on my timeline and it sparked an interesting thought in my head. How can women be so enamored with tall jack masculine guys, but at the same time swarms of women are also attracted to members of BTS? In that way the tweet is not wrong. What women are attracted to has huge variance, and the biggest mistake we make as guys is to try to distill it down to a science when it's anything but that. In this video we're going to take a deep dive into the female gaze versus the male gaze. Part 1. The female gaze at its core is story-driven. There's a reason why the best-selling books year after year are romance novels, and the biggest consumers of them are women. There's also a reason why the fanfic community is almost exclusively women writing about fictional characters. It's the same reason why artists and musicians throughout history have been loved by women. They tell a story with their creativity. You also tell a story every time you walk out of the door. You just don't realize it. The way you dress, your choice of hair, the way you walk, the way you look away instantly if you meet eye contact, your body language. These all tell a story, and women pick up on it. Part 2. Looks matter. This is not at all to say that women don't like or prefer a handsome guy, a nice jawline, slight facial hair, height, a lean physique, darker features, and a mix of masculine and feminine features. If you wanted to create a guy that appeals to the most amount of women worldwide, he'd probably look something like Michael from the movie 365 Days. But even when it comes to looks there's a huge variance in types. Make him a bit more feminine and you have Zayn Malik. Make him more masculine and you have Giga Chad. But remember, this is just ideals. As a guy yourself, if your type is tall blondes, it doesn't mean you wouldn't go for a short brunette. Part 3. The black pill antidote. For some reason when men hear of women's ideals of being tall, fit, and rich, it makes them feel down on themselves and hopeless. I've always repeated that the biggest cure for being black-built is spending an hour in any busy downtown square and observing couples. Here's what you'll see through a male gaze. Average guys with average girls. Average guys with beautiful girls. This is because women don't view male attractiveness as a purely physical equation. As men we put so much emphasis on physical attractiveness that it's the only thing we compare when we see a couple. Your humor, voice, smell, charisma, kindness, skills, potential, how you treat her, others, animals, kids, your love language, nature, empathy, and so many other things dictate how attractive you are through the female gaze. Part 4. The female gaze is like Play-Doh. Here's what I mean by this. If a girl is not attracted to a guy at first glance, the physical attraction can still grow a ton once she knows them even a little bit better. This is very common. A majority of men fall into the "yeah, he's alright" category. As they get to know him, he can either plummet into "I would never," or elevate into "he's really hot." This is a bit hard to understand for a lot of guys, because when we see a beautiful girl at first glance we can fall in love and imagine our life together in a house on a prairie with 4 kids. Part 5. Relative versus absolute. Now let's talk about 3 things that absolutely pertain to the female gaze: height, income, and status. We've all heard the phrase 6 figures, 6 feet, and a 6-pack. All of these things are appealing, but here's where most guys are getting it wrong. When girls say they want a taller guy, this is a relative term. It means they want a guy that's taller than them. Same for incoming status. Statistically, most couples in these categories have the following thing in common. The man is only a few inches taller than the woman. The man makes slightly more money. Status is hard to calculate, but we can assume this is probably true too. And let's be honest, pretty much every guy lies about their height, which has majorly skewed people's perception of what 6 feet or 6 inches actually looks like. So as long as you're a bit taller and make a bit more money, you're going to be alright.